Hey, welcome back to Main Irish Angling TV. Today we're going to have a look at a few of the new RidgeMonkey products that are actually out on the market and in store here in Main Irish Angling. Now, before I get into this, what I will say is if you've not actually taken the time yet to come out and visit the store, I really suggest you do, because the store has grown exponentially over the last couple of years, and the range of stock that's available to the angler is phenomenal. It's probably the biggest and most stocked fishing store in the country at this stage, and the stock count is huge, and it's one of these places. It's an Aladdin's cave. There's bits for absolutely every denomination of angling, so if you're an angler, get out to the store. It's worth the trip, even if it's a bit of a journey for you. So as I said, I'm going to look at a few of the RidgeMonkey products. Now, I've used pretty much all, if not all, of these products myself and can endorse them 1000%. RidgeMonkey are a new company on the block. They've been around a little while now, and in that time they've made a very they've made very niche products for the specialist angler, and they've taken designs that are probably already out there and they've tweaked them and they've made them better. They're very well known for their toaster range. We'll get into that in a second, but I'm going to look at a few of the other bits and pieces first. The first one up, and give me a bit of space to get rid of it. This is one of the best bits of kit if you are a long stay angler and you're using boilies at all. I recommend you invest in one of these. They're not expensive at all, but they have 3 tiers with 3 zips to allow you air dry your baits. They have a nice little hook system that will allow you to hook it up to a number of different things, whether it be from trees or fences or anything like that, or even off your bivvy. And as I say, the design of it allows maximum airflow, and the top is waterproof, so if you do get a bit of rain come down, it will actually keep your boilies underneath as dry as can be. Obviously, I believe they actually do like a little rain suit that goes over it completely, and that would be a handy thing to have. But I've used these a lot. They are a superb piece of kit, and they do exactly what they are meant to do. The next thing I'm going to look at, this is the Bivy Light. Now, look, if for us long stay anglers to have some sort of light system in the bivvy is paramount, especially on the long winter dark nights that we have at the moment. I've used numerous different Bivy lights over the last couple of years, and I have to say, hands down, this is the one I bought. This is one I really like. It has a number of different functions. It has basically a red light setting, which can be set at 2 different levels. Red light is great if you don't want to lose your night vision. It puts enough ambient light into your bivvy space for you to work with. But if you're like me and you're as blind as a bat, then you can move it over to, by just hitting the actual knob a few times, you can bring it over to a fluorescent white light, and again it has a different setting. Now, in a studio light here, that doesn't look impressive, but let me tell you, it's the biggest output of light I've used. Inside a dark bivvy at night, this absolutely lights it up like daylight, and it's a great little thing to have. Very easy to use, very easy to hit the buttons. Has a huge battery life, and it's a rechargeable job. So there's a little USB port here which you can recharge either on your bank from one of your devices, or you can actually do it at home. But it will last for, I've used that for a full week, and in winter time with it on for long hours, and a full week later it still has plenty of juice in it. Comes with a little plate. The plate is for sitting on top of the material on the outside of the bivvy, so that it's magnetic, so it'll actually allow you to fix the actual light to the bivvy itself, so it can hang off the inside. Great little piece of kit, and again, very inexpensive for what it is. This is their latest venture into throwing sticks. I've been using throwing sticks as a way of putting out bait for a long time. We all started off with the metal cobra ones. We moved over to various plastic ones. Eventually I fell in love with a Fox carbon one, which they don't make anymore. They brought out a new carbon stick from Fox, and I have to be honest, I was wholly unimpressed with that particular piece. This particular model, as I said, from RidgeMonkey, is called the Samurai, and the reason why it's called a Samurai is because of the shape that it's in. It's a very different kind of shape. The padded case comes as standard, and what you have is a bottom loading throwing stick. This is 3K carbon weave, and it's been made in a there's a tulip kind of shape all the way through, and the thin edge is actually at the throwing side, so that when you are sticking out bait, what happens is this creates less wind resistance and it puts less fatigue on your arm. One of the big problems with a lot of throwing sticks on the market is you do suffer with fatigue on, it's like a tennis elbow, on your forearm and further up. So if you're sticking out a lot of bait for a good while, especially if on one of the heavier sticks, it can be very tolling on the arm. The actual handle, while the rest of the stick is in a tulip shape, the actual handle is in an oval shape, and it has a shrink tube sticky material on it that makes it very slight in the hand. It doesn't, some of the sticks on the market, they have very big handles and they're very uncomfortable, especially over a period of time of sticking out bait. This one doesn't have that. It's very flush, and as I say, it's like a shrink tubing on it, but it's very tactile so that you won't slip. The reason why they've made it oval at the bottom is that as it sits in the hand, when you're sticking out constantly, because you've put up a fairly big rhythm, because you're front loading at the bottom here with boilies, and this will take boilies up to 20 mil, I believe. Because it's oval, it won't twist or rotate in the hand like some of the rounded bottom ones do. That means your accuracy will be increased. The other thing I noticed straight away, one of the big things with a fox stick that I didn't like was that on the fox stick, when you put your finger down into the carbon to have a feel, the way it was joined, there were lumps, bumps and things that were sticking out quite deep into the tubing, like glue and bits and pieces, that it was so rough that it would have an effect on the boilie's accuracy. If you actually put your finger in every single RidgeMonkey that I've played with now to this date, they're all finished absolutely superbly. So if you're in the market for a throwing stick, I'd definitely take a look at this one. This is actually one of the cheaper carbon throwing sticks on the market, and certainly from what I can see, one of the best made. And I have actually used this. One thing I will say, with any curved stick on the market, there is a technique involved. You need to learn the technique. If you pick up one and you put a couple of boilies through it, more than likely it will go everywhere. And most of them will land at your feet. Until you get the rhythm and the technique right, it's a learning curve. So don't expect to pick up one of these anytime soon and just be able to fly your bait out. It does take a little bit of practice. The last thing I'm going to look at is probably what that RidgeMonkey are most famous for. Look, this isn't, you know, it's one of those items that for me was a game changer, the way I eat on the bank. And what it is, basically it's a little toasting hot plate. It comes with two sides, and the idea that you can put your slice of bread in, your ham, cheese, whatever condiments you want, put your next slice on, close it over, and then by rotating it on a very low heat over a stove, you can actually cook yourself a very nice piece of toasted sandwich. That was the initial concept of this, but this has gone on to being, you know, you can scramble eggs in it, you can poach eggs in it, you can fry bacon in it, you can do pretty much anything on a frying pan. But the great thing is, because it has a lid, you can nearly steam cook stuff, and then you can rotate it. It's absolutely a godsend. Now, why it was a game changer for me, it meant that instead of me carrying lots of bits and pieces, I only take with me a RidgeMonkey now as my main pan. And I'm a short session angler anyway. If I was staying for a little bit longer, this would just be an auxiliary item. I'd obviously have to have more in the way of equipment, but certainly for a quick overnighter, this has changed the way I eat on the bank, and for the better. But RidgeMonkey have just brought out the granddad of the version. This is the same concept, does the same thing, but it literally is twice the size. And the idea being on this one is that, you know, you can fit larger bread pieces in if you like that more crusty bread, or you can use this for cooking up your bacon, your sausages, your eggs all in one go. It's a cracking piece of kit, really, really well made. I have to be honest with you, I have two of these and one of these. I have two of these at home, and they are used pretty much daily. I actually cook everybody's eggs in the morning on these. I find it the quickest and simplest way, without using any fat or oil. I can make a fairly healthy breakfast in an instant. So you can see kind of the difference in size. There is, you know, quite a bit of difference. Really, really nifty piece of kit for on the bank cooking. So if you, like me, do get out on the bank on a regular basis, and you like your grub, certainly invest in one of these. You won't look back once you try them, and once you get the concept of them. And if you go on Facebook, there's actually RidgeMonkey cooking pages where you can go and add yourself, and people come up with all new ideas of what you can cook in these on the bank, and it sounds a little bit too much, but you know what, it's a handy little feature. So this is Jerry, this is a Maine Irish Angling TV, and as I said, if you've not been in the store yet, you need to come in and have a look at the range of stock that's available here. Certainly there's no other angling store in the country that has quite the level of stock that this one does. So as I said, this is Jerry, MIA TV, and we'll catch you in the next video.